Hi everyone, welcome once again with Kate and Arijit, and once again we are going to discuss about epic stories and values, and of course going to connect that with the corporate world. Kate, how are you doing today?
I am I am well today. It's raining outside today, so
Brilliant.
I'm contemplating on quietness and
Super.
samadhi.
Even in India it's going to rain. The clouds are actually, I can see from my window the clouds are there. So you are sending clouds from South Korea to India now.
Maybe I don't know. Today I learned about Kali goddess.
Oh my God, that's a brilliant goddess actually, full of power, and that's an avatar of Devi Durga. Maybe we can explore these characters soon. So what's the topic that we have today?
Today we're going to talk about Indrajit, the son of Ravana, who defeated Lord of God. His name is Indra, and also known as King of Thunder. It's good coincidence that it rained yesterday here, and it's about to rain there. Let's talk about God of Thunder and Indrajit, son of Ravana. Would you like to guide us?
Sure, why not? So if you look at the Sindhu culture, Sindhu mythology and structures, um, God of Thunder is Lord Indra, and Lord Indra is controlling the entire cloud, those thunders, those rains, everything that you are watching at the moment. And more than that, if we look at the entire structure, the demigods of God is Lord Indra. So if we look at the entire structure, the three main lords, three main gods are Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwar. Brahma is the creator, and he usually gives boon to humankind, multiple different boons because he have got enormous power. But in the second layer, there are lot many gods like sun, like moon, lot many others, and God of them, I mean Lord of them, King of them is Indra. So what happened in Ramayana? As you know, Indrajit is son of Ravana. So this fellow have got enormous power, amazing strength. Now, Indrajit's another name is Meghanad. Meghanad because when he took birth, um, definitely he cried like a thunder, like Meghnad meaning is the sound of thunder. Meg means the clouds in Sanskrit. And he had got amazing special abilities, like he can fight from the sky, he can hide himself behind the clouds, he has got amazing weapons, he possesses Brahmastra as a weapon. So what he did during the fight of Ram and Ravana, Indrajit himself, he actually killed thousands of Banaras. Banaras was actually the warriors, the soldiers of King Rama. And he used lot many weapons to fight against all those supernatural beings. For an example, when Lord Hanuman entered into Lanka, Lanka was the kingdom of Ravana, Indrajit actually defeated our god, which is Hanumanji. But the defeated part is a little bit of difference over here because it is said that Hanumanji actually, willingly put himself in the hands of Indrajit so that he can meet Ravana. And we know what happened after that. Hanuman actually destroyed half of the Lanka after he met Ravana himself. That was the superpower of Hanuman. But let us talk about Indrajit first and explore this character. When we are exploring this character, we will find out that once Lord Indra, he actually defeated Ravana and took him to his kingdom. So because his father was defeated, Indrajit got furious and he attacked Indra himself, and he defeated Indra. Not only that, he actually took back his father to his kingdom and took back with lot many of different supernatural powers along with Lord Indra himself. And when he came back, it was really difficult for the gods to decide what they will do, because this is also another super being, these Ravana, Indrajit, and a couple of others, Kumbhakarna and others. So when Ravana and Indrajit decided to kill Indra, Lord Brahma, he appeared in front of both of them. And he said, instead of killing Indra, I'm going to give you a boon. What do you want? Indrajit wanted immortality. But as per the law of nature, Lord Brahma said that it is impossible to give you a boon of immortality. Nobody can be immortal in this mortal world. Instead of that, I am going to give you another boon. So once you do your yajna with your own goddess, Nikumvila Yagga was the name of that yagna. Yagna means the rituals, the holy rituals. You will possess a power so that nobody can defeat you. That's the boon that Indrajit got from Lord Brahma. During the fight of Ravana in Ramayana, Indrajit started defeating the entire race of Vanaras, and it was impossible for others to defeat that particular fellow. And not only that, he threw Shakti Shell, which was another weapon, a holy weapon probably, to kill Lakshman. And when Lakshman got hit, this is interesting, he became unconscious. Lakshman was a part of another, he was basically avatar of another god as well, which is Sheshnag. I will talk about more on this maybe in some later on as a talk. But when he was unconscious, Rama became really, you can say, down as a mentality became down. And Rama thought that, how can I save my brother? So Hanuman was guided and directed to go and fetch some elements from a mountain. Hanuman increased his size like a giant and flew towards that mountain, and he couldn't find out those small Ayurveda elements which was supposed to bring. So what he did, he broke the entire part of that mountain, came back, and then with that note, Lakshmana again became normal. Vibhishana, if you remember, yesterday we were talking about Vibhishana, who was brother of Ravana. He knew the fact that if Indrajit does that Nikumvira Yagya, then it is going to be very difficult to win the battle, because he is going to kill the entire army then. He will be unbeatable. So Indrajit, when he saw that Lakshmana was alive again, he got real furious. So he started doing Nikumvila Yagya. What happened? Vibhishana took Lakshmana to attack Indrajit's place, that particular temple place. At that time, he was doing Yagya, didn't have any kind of weapon in his hands. I'm not sure whether it was fair fight or unfair fight. Somehow, both of them started attacking Indrajit. Indrajit got a shock. He saw his uncle beside Lakshman, and he was really became sad and furious. He thought that I'm going to kill Vibhishan for this act because he is betraying his own people. He threw a weapon, but Lakshmana somehow safeguarded Vibhishana on that particular time. And Indrajit felt this is not going to be a winning battle for him. So he flew from that place, went to Ravana, told him everything. Ravana said, you are a coward. You left the battle. You left the battle and you thought that I'll be giving you some kind of protection. Come on, you are a man of Rakshasa. You are a son of Ravana. You should go back and attack again. But somehow, Indrajit felt, I should obey my father. Indrajit was a devoted kid of Ravana. He used to listen to everything that Ravana used to tell him. So he came back and he started a fight with Lakshmana. Eventually, he couldn't win the battle. Lakshmana killed him with another weapon, which was actually given by the gods to him. And his head was beheaded. That was the end of story of Indrajit, one of the greatest warrior probably in that time, who lost the battle. Probably he was a devotee of his father. He was an obedient son, of course, a husband, and definitely a great personality who always believes in fair fight. He wanted to protect his kingdom. So that's the story of Indrajit, Kate. That's how he got killed. But because we treat these guys as Asuras, as Rakshasas, which are in English like demons and probably bad guys, uh, whatever fight that happened, humanity wrote that great, like Lakshmana killed Indrajit. Anything which is during war that happens to win the battle for a, probably for a cause is good for humanity. But now it is up to you how you are going to explain the situation.
Okay, well put, Arjit. Wow, that's a big story. Okay, so yesterday we touched upon the Bharat, the son of Ravana, right?
This is son of Ravana, Indrajit.
Okay, Indrajit is son of Ravana, and yesterday we explored Bharat. So there is a continuity
yesterday
here.
we explored Ravana. Ravana was the father of Indrajit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's okay. Yes, yesterday we talked about Ravana. Today we're talking about Indrajit, the son of Ravana. And when we bring this to the corporate world and make it applicable for what's happening between companies, people involving people have different need and agenda, and when we're collaborating together, drama happens. And I think that when you say Indrajit was a devotee and respectful son to his father, that is admirable in a sense. I wonder, as a CEO, we need to trust our instinct, our guts, our wisdom, intuition, all of it. And I wonder, had he not come back to seek for advice from his father, but stayed in the battlefield, if he had won? What are your thoughts? As a CEO, you call the shots.
Okay, so sometimes it happens that if it is in the corporate world and if it is in the personal life. So if you are doing a battle, if you're in a battlefield, if your son is in the battlefield and he's saying that there was an unfair fight going on, I was weaponless, and my uncle actually is there beside our enemies, he should have listened to Indrajit. He was not a liar. Indrajit actually safeguarded him from Indra, and he was one of the greatest warrior on that particular time. So in my opinion, Ravana would have listened to Indrajit and should have taken a different step instead of asking him, go and fight the battle. In corporate world, what happens when you are in front of such kind of situation that probably sometimes in this corporate jungle, your competitors are doing something which is not very good for your company, and one of your devoted employee or maybe team member is saying that this is what's going to happen, please take care of your own company, meaning your kingdom. And I have been threatened by these kind of issues. So as a CEO, you should listen to your teammate instead of saying that, oh, it's completely fine. I mean, competitors will be competitors. We are big. So we shouldn't have that kind of ego in our mind and say that, okay, it is completely cool to ignore your competitors. What my opinion says, keep your enemies closer than your friends will actually give you an edge to win any kind of battle in life.
Oh my golly. Okay, well, that can go either way, an enemy can keep us closer to under their wing and sort of throw us under the bus, So you say in this corporate jungle, we're learning how to navigate and cultivate conscious leadership, and we're moving into leading companies, our kingdom, our empire, with more purity, more sincerity, and transparency. And when I study the character Indra, his downfall was pride, too much ego, too much.
You're talking about Indrajit, right?
I'm talking about Indra, the king of thunder.
Okay.
Yeah, his downfall was pride, you know, and his greatest teacher is humility. Can you weave the humility part as a CEO, why this is really necessary, even amongst people you know might be a competitor trying to extract something out of you for their benefit? What is the benefit of the quality humility as a CEO?
Okay, so I will tell you something. When you are asking about CEO is a different position. And if you're asking me about founder, that's a different position. I come up with this again and again for all the people who started their company. So when you are asking about humility for the CEOs, definitely CEOs are not bad guys. They are not always rude. They have their own heart. But sometimes for the sake of the company, for the sake of their kingdom, for the sake of protecting their company, they sometimes take decisions which is needed to grow the company. Now, within that decision, when you say that you try to compare that with Indra, actually, Indra is god of all the gods, right? So he attacked Ravana because Ravana took the kingdom of Kubera. Kubera was a demigod under the protection of Indra. It's a long story, Kit, actually. So when we are explaining one character of course, god of thunder, definitely during the war, during the battlefield, Ravana could have killed Indra when Indrajit defeated Indra, right? But both of them didn't do it because Brahma asked them, instead of killing, take a boon. So they became greedy to take a boon. Of course, if you say that it is greed, but it is needed. What's the point of killing someone instead of that if they can get something which is remarkable? They wanted immortality so that they can win the other battles. It was a decision from a crown prince and a king, right? Both of them. So in normal world, if you are in those kind of situation as a CEO, that you need to take a decision that whether it is beneficial for your people or whether it is giving benefit to you, yourself, your ego. As a CEO, the first option is always a choice that you should take the decision for the people, for the company, for the employees, for the team. And that's how always a good CEO works. Now, if you ask me about humility for founders in that case, usually they do something which is which may not be very cool for the company, because they go out of passion, they work out of passion, they earn out of passion, they spend out of passion. But as a CEO, this passion part is optimized that because that's a role which they are performing, and he is paid to become a CEO in a corporate company so that he or she can support the founders or board of directors. And that's a very interesting role in the corporate world, to become a CEO. It looks jazzy, cool, full of lights, a lot of glory. But when you sit in a CEO's position, it's not that easy, to be very honest. Taking time for themselves, giving time to others is really difficult for a CEO. Totally difficult. And when you are acting as a founder and CEO, balancing both the roles are important. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, more than what I asked for, Indrajit. So the humility part comes in when if a CEO is doing her or his job really well. That humility part is where they're able to let go of their personal agenda, their ego, to take care of the entire ecosystem.
True.
Yeah, and I think that's not what Indra did well, but I think Indrajit.
Indrajit was not a king, Kate. Indrajit was a crown king. So whatever he did he did for the sake of kingdom. Whatever he did for the sake of his king, Ravana.
Mhm.
When Ravana said that you should go back to battle, I don't care whether you have weapon or not, he listened to the king, not the father. If you go deep into his own mindset at that time.
Mhm. So what lesson would you, okay, so let's say Indrajit is right here in front of us. You would give Indrajit an advice. What is an advice you give?
Well, I'm too small to give advice to Indrajit, definitely. He was the greatest warrior of all time, so I cannot give him advice. But if I may take some notes from this situation, Kate, I would have probably think of something different. It is not a decision of Ravana or Indrajit. It was a betrayal of a person whose name is Bibhishan. If you look at our entire history of today's India, for the last 750 plus years, we have been ruled by people who came and they owned the battle. It was never a fair battle with Indians and the foreigners. Every time when we lost it, it was the betrayal of people. If you look at Shivaji, which is from history, Aurangzeb won the battle because he was betrayed by others. Yes, please.
Can I add something here?
Yeah.
Even the Korean kingdom has similar history to India, where we have been invaded by foreigners and the kingdom been annihilated. So we share similar background, Arjit. So continue. So you're giving a note or Indrajit, advice to Indrajit. Go for it.
Yeah. So when we look at that structure, when you are in front of a betrayal person, you shouldn't lose your temper. Indrajit lost his temper at that particular time when he should have concentrated on the yajna instead of attacking the uncle by watching that he betrayed the kingdom. He lost it. He lost his mind watching his uncle just beside Lakshmana. So my opinion would be you shouldn't have lost your temper. You should have probably continued with your Nikumbhila Yajna. And after that, you could have possessed the power of the God of the gods, and you could have probably won the battle. But because he lost it, because the anger possesses him, that's one of the sole reason he was killed by Lakshmana. That's the only sad part I can say. It's not an advice, probably the saddest part.
Yeah, I completely understand. So if you were to insert the spiritual understanding, meditation in the corporate world is important. As a founder, CEO, we need to be able to be as objective as possible, as if we're watching the movie of whatever happens in the organization. We may look at it like this is our kingdom or this is our baby, but we also, as a CEO or founder, in order to lead conscientiously, we have to be detached in some way and able to make the holy decisions, holy in terms of the right decision that will move the needle forward for the entire kingdom that benefits. So the lesson of the downfall of Indrajit was his emotion. Perhaps it was painful to watch his uncle, go through something like that. And then he got sort of involved in the personal attack. Therefore, he lost his merit. So this is a great lesson for corporate leaders out there. And meditation, yoga. And
Yes.
One thing I've learned building startup is it's not about the startup that I'm creating is important. What is important is that person, the best version of myself I'm becoming, that is most important. Yeah.
True. Can I add something over here? I'll just finish maybe a minute. One of my life incident. I have many, but this is one of the recent one. When we started our accelerator, Co-Innovate Ventures, and said that we are going to help a lot many startups. I even don't know that particular person who started personally attacking me in my social media, um, putting some odd post about me, talking something nonsense about me. Even as a person, I saw that. I saw that this is happening because the news actually came from a couple of my corporate friends. They say that this is what this person is doing. Do you know this fellow? I said I have never ever interacted with that person. It may happen that he have probably applied to our accelerator and we denied because we have a team. And that deny part doesn't come to me. I mean, it should not come to me, to be very honest. I have a team and they will take care of all those kind of startup applications that is coming up. And after filterization, the filtered people usually come towards me. Okay. So what I did nothing. I never ever reacted. I never commented. I never shared any kind of expression. I just felt that it's a pity that someone is posting odd for another person who is from probably the entrepreneurial ecosystem. It is not nice to do that for others. Why I didn't react? Because my karma and my work will talk eventually. And eventually, the person who is doing it, maybe by some influence or not, he probably did that in some situation which I don't know. So I am not a person who is going to talk to him in person or react in the social media. It doesn't matter. How does it matter if somebody is talking behind you? He don't even have the courage to talk straight. So my opinion is, in today's world, Kate, meditation is really, really important. And whoever started their business, it is important to understand how to optimize yourself, where to react, how to react, and when to react. To be very honest, if you're working, your work should talk. There will be people who will be talking in your behind. There will be people, a group of people who will probably talk nasty in your back. Perfectly fine. If people are talking about you, good or bad, that means you're doing something. That means there is a buzzword. So if there is a buzzword, just stick your nose to the grid and walk on the path. That's it.
Yeah, there's a quote. Learn how to make money out of the haters. And Arjun, the imagery I get when you're talking is lions, right? We're like lions and hyenas, barking around. So that's the role of leader. Any leader is going to be in public sphere, be criticized, or there's going to be people around. But as a lion, the leader, we can only focus on what really matters for the entire kingdom, the company ecosystem. Wow, Arjit, I enjoyed our talk today. Thanks for talking about Indrajit, the son of Ravana, and Indra, the king of thunder. And what's tomorrow? Or what's next?
Well, next we are coming up with amazing story from you, and let us wait for the beautiful Kate to share her own kingdom's story. I will wait for that.
Okay, I look forward to bringing out a story from our Korean kingdom.
Looking forward. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.